Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvijesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. In this session, we'll be discussing from 3 verses. The 26th, the 27th and the 28th verses of the 19th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. All the 3 verses are describing the personal features of Shukadeva Goswami. Great personality. So to recognize him is not easy as somebody very, very great, very exalted, pure devotee, fully realized. Very difficult to make out. As you would have heard in the previous verse, he was Avaduta. He was completely disinterested in properly dressing himself, in displaying any symptoms of belonging to any particular social order. No, none of those could be made out by his appearance. So further description about his appearance. 26th verse. Tam Vyashtavarsham Sukumara Pada Karorubahu Amsa Kapola Gatram Charu Ayataksha Unnasa Tulyakarna Subhru Ananam Kambu Sujata Kantham. I split the words because each one is describing a particular feature of the external appearance of Shukadeva Goswami. So the meaning of this verse is, this son of Vyasadeva, Tam, the previous reference was there, Bhagavan Vyasaputro, this son of Vyasadeva, that is Shukadeva Goswami, was only 16 years old. Here Sanskrit, Dvi Ashta, 2 times 8 is 16. So he was only 16 years old. His legs, hands, thighs, arms, shoulders, forehead and other parts of his body were all delicately formed. Sukumara, very delicately formed. His eyes were beautifully wide. Ayataksha, Charu Ayataksha. Beautifully wide eyes he had. His nose and ears were highly raised. Unnasa Tulya Karna, raised nose and raised ears. He had a very attractive face. Subhru Ananam, very beautiful eyebrows and very beautiful face, very attractive face. And his neck was well formed and beautiful like a conch shell. Kambu Sujata Kantham. Kambu means conch shell. Sujata Kantham, very beautiful, beautifully formed neck. Kantham means neck. So these beautiful features are special. If somebody observes him very carefully, not thinking he's a madman, that we described how the members of that assembly, the saintly persons in Parikshit's assembly, some of them, they could recognize a person by studying his external features. That is called the science of physiognomy. It's a special science. The bodily features, when observed externally, can tell a lot about that personality, the nature of that personality within. Of course, the person is not the body, but still, great persons, by their external bodily features, they are recognized by those who know these specific symptoms by which to recognize such personalities. So Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, a respectable personality is described beginning with the legs, and this honored system is observed here with Shukadev Goswami. Always from the bottom to the top. Even the Supreme Lord, we should have darshan of the deity of the Supreme Lord beginning with the feet and then gradually move up. He was only 16 years of age. Compared to the other persons in the assembly, probably he was the youngest in that assembly of great saintly persons. So Srila Prabhupada remarks here, a person is honored for his achievements and not for advanced age. Merely being elderly in terms of physical age is not the basis of honoring somebody. That alone is not the basis. So a person is honored for his achievements, especially when they have spiritual achievements. A person can be older by experience and not by age. Sri Shukadev Goswami, who is described herein as the son of Vyasadeva, was by his knowledge more experienced than all the sages present there, although he was only 16 years of age. So this will be further described in the next two verses. So the 27th verse, Nigudha Jatrum Prututunga Vakshasam Avartanabhim Valivalgu Udaram Cha Dig Ambaram Vaktra Vikirna Kesham Pralamba Bahum Su Amara Uttama Abham. The meaning of this verse is, his collarbone was fleshy, his chest broad and thick, his navel deep, and his abdomen beautifully striped. His arms were long, and curly hair was strewn over his beautiful face. The face was already described in the previous verse, beautiful face. He was naked, and the hue of his body reflected that of Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is very dark complexion. Similarly, Shukadev Goswami was also dark complexion like Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada explains this, these bodily features of Shukadev Goswami in the purport. His bodily features indicate him to be different from common men. Distinct features are there by which he can be distinguished as an extraordinary personality, even among great persons. So Srila Prabhupada says, all the signs described in connection with the bodily features of Shukadev Goswami are uncommon symptoms, typical of great personalities according to physiognomical calculations. See, there are many branches of Vedic knowledge. One of them is how to recognize a person's greatness by studying his external features. For example, if somebody's arms, when they stretch, when they're standing and they stretch the arms in front of their body, it goes below their knees. That is called Ajana Bahum. Ajana Bahum. That's a description of Lord Ramachandra. Lord Ramachandra, when he appeared, he had his hands, when he stretched, it would reach up to his knees or even below his knees. No common personality will have such arms in a human form, will have his arms reaching up to his knees. It will always be above the knees. You can check. You stretch your arms, it will reach only somewhere in the thigh region. It will not reach up to your knees unless you are a great personality. So, one of the symptoms is of a great personality, the arms will reach up to the knees. That's described about Shukadeva Goswami here. Pralamba Bahum, elongated hands. So these symptoms are described in a branch of the Vedas called physiognomy. Physiognomy. This probably is not known in the modern education system, this physiognomy as a science. There are definite symptoms. So it is described, his bodily hue resembled that of Lord Krishna, who is the supreme among the gods. Su-amara uttamam. Su-amara uttamam. Amara means the demigods, and uttamam means the supreme among the demigods. Who is that? Krishna. So his bodily hue was that of Krishna. The 28th verse, Shyamam sadapivya vayonga lakshmya strinam manogyam ruchirasmitena pratyuthitaste munayas svasanebhyaha tallakshanagya api gudha varchasam. The meaning of this 28th verse is, he was blackish, Shyamam, and very beautiful due to his youth. Vayonga Lakshmi, very beautiful due to his youth. Because of the glamour of his body and his attractive smiles, he was pleasing to women. Though he tried to cover his natural glories, the great sages present there were all expert in the art of physiognomy, and so they honored him by rising from their seats. They were all seated. Parikshit Maharaj, you see the great saintly persons who arrived from all over the universe. They arrived before Shukadeva Goswami came to that assembly. So they were all seated, and Parikshit Maharaj bowed down to them and acknowledged their presence, glorified them. But now they were standing up to receive Shukadeva Goswami, who could not be recognized by common people, who thought he is some madman. They neglected him, and he was surrounded by some urchins and some foolish people. But here is a madman. But not the sages who knew the art of physiognomy. They recognized him as a very, very, very great personality simply by seeing his bodily features. So that is the a description here that Lakshanagya, the sages, very, very great personalities from the upper planets of the universe, they have arrived there. So they could recognize, even though Gudha Varchasam, his glories were covered, externally common people cannot make out he is a great person. And that too when he is walking naked, who will think he is some great personality? So these sages could recognize. So they all stood up out of respect for Shukadeva Goswami. So I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.